As you are all aware, the issue at hand is the campaigns, both presidential, parliamentary, local government, and special interest groups going on. They are underway nationwide, and as security, as one of the key stakeholders, we want to re-echo the message we had earlier shared and even continuously shared about certain expectations. We have already said that any party, any person in this campaign exercise should involve key stakeholders, especially the police or security agencies, in that case, and the Electoral Commission. And we have said that involving us helps in having a harmonious relationship because we all have stake in this election. We have all along asked candidates and participants to follow agreed protocols to avoid collusion and conflicts. Of recent, we have observed, especially where we are having parliamentary elections, rival groups of candidates colliding and fighting, beating each other, and doing a lot of mayhem. So we call upon you to be organized and also warn that that conduct and behavior can attract punitive action. And punitive action, which is centered on individual offenders. Because as security agencies, we are saying we do not want to punish people in blanket fashion. You commit an offense, we take you on as an individual. So we are saying follow agreed upon protocols, arrangements, organization. If you are going to have any activity, involve stakeholders, especially security, so that we have a stake in the planning processes. The other key issue, which I would like to reiterate, is the issue of processions. We've had a serious briefing with our commanders because we continuously see the violation of this requirement. Candidates have spaces or grounds where they hold rallies. People move to those grounds. But what we do not want to see, and what we prohibit, and also what we would advise that it should not be done at all, is for a candidate to generate a procession. Instead of holding a rally, you find a candidate particularly generating a procession, actually doing the actual campaigning through a procession. So the commanders have been tasked to make sure that this is addressed because we see it as a growing trend in a number of candidates. So this one, take note. If you see our officers coming in and preventing you, you know why they are doing it and why they are doing it. We also would love to guide. There is another observation we've made, the use of ambulances as lead cars. This is strictly prohibited. Everybody knows what an ambulance is supposed to do. So if you get an ambulance whose essential activity is supposed to be to ferry patients or to give emergency response services, and then you use it as a lead car, now that will not be tolerated, and we warn those drivers, you, the driver of an ambulance, will be held accountable. One of the most common acts is the defacement of election posters. We condemn it as security. We also call upon our officers on ground to take firm action against culprits or suspects in that effect. Observe a sustained increase in cybercrime being committed, particularly in connection with campaigns or the election process. Those responsible should know that the law is clear and there are severe punishments. If you are tracked and arrested, you will be taken on. You will not just use electronic space with impunity and you think that you will go free. You may survive a day or two, but at one point, you will be held to account. And that is a strong message I would like to share with everybody who is out there who thinks he cannot be reached. We have the capabilities and we shall utilize them accordingly. There are also cases of criminals disguising in party t-shirts and paraphernalia, where they put on party colors and then form those egali. Our commanders have been tasked also to seriously address those challenges. When candidates hold the campaigns, these goons go ahead and rob people. We have seen incidents where they have even gone and attacked mobile money outlets. So our commanders are dealing with those kind of fellows. So take note, we shall deal with you very decisively. On a whole, we want to say that the laws governing traffic and the laws generally of the country, none of them is in abeyance. There is no law which has been frozen because people are vying for political power. The laws of the country are still active. If you choose to break them, you break them at your own peril. You will be taken on. We call upon all political actors to work closely with us because there is a lot of input you require from security. There are aspects of safety where you find you need traffic police, you need fire brigade. There are aspects of security because security threats naturally arise as a result of crowds gathering. Like I've mentioned much earlier, there will be that one or two people who want to cause mayhem because of the large crowds, to snatch a bag, to snatch a phone. So you need security. there will be need to regulate the movement and flow of traffic. So you need security agencies. The places where you are holding these lorries from, you need protection, you need guidance from other stakeholders. So we call upon you to ensure that you collaborate with security. And yeah, so that is the issues I have raised in respect to elections. But I re-echo the issue of collaboration with security agencies so that we have a smooth run of these activities. First and foremost, allow me bring you to speed that in the build-up to these elections, there were meetings and preparations. There were agreed guidelines to guide both the officers in their operational environment. There were operation orders. That one I'll need to bring you to speed. Now, on top of that, Electoral Commission also issued guidelines. Now, I want to be very categorical. We have even sat with the candidates, and even the sittings are always going on, where we sit and agree on a number of approaches to the elections. One of the things that every candidate is aware of, because in all our meetings we have shared it, we have shared this opinion, we have shared this guideline, that processions are not tolerable. They disrupt public order. What we encourage all candidates is let your supporters move from wherever they are coming from to the venue. Equally do the same as a candidate. Meet them there, share your message. When the campaign is over, or the rally, sorry, let everybody move back to his next destination. That is the message. It has been shared. Now, how are we going to handle that? Two ways. We call upon the candidates and their supporters to voluntarily comply. And that is the most encouraged approach. Because when you comply, there is no problem. When you don't, there is recipe for disagreements, which at times can escalate into confrontations, and which is something that is undesirable. Yes. Because they raise contradictions. And you know the laws that govern contradictions, especially when they are being resolved. In the resolution of a contradiction, sometimes you will have antagonistic approaches. And that is something we don't desire. Yes. So, processions are not allowed. But we just call upon for people to regulate themselves, let them not wait for security agencies. Lastly, you talked about the clashes. That how are we going to manage them? We've tried as much as possible. At times we do engagements. And in some extreme situations, we also have prosecutions. But what we want to warn people is that whoever commits an offense will have put himself in harm's way. You will be prosecuted, no matter when. And everybody will carry his cross. If you commit an offense, you are liable to prosecution. We are not going to concentrate on throwing tear gas aimlessly or punishing large crowds. No. The best approach is to identify an offender and bring him to book. But that's why we have also those meetings I've talked about. What the country needs to know is that a number of candidates out there are being engaged prior to their activities. Don't see a candidate go to a rally and think that behind the processes out there, there are no meetings are going on. Maybe what we only have is sometimes what we agree upon during the meetings. Some people violate the agreed upon positions.